How you doing? Who the hell are you guys?
We're from the Department of Government Efficiency.
What's that? Doge! Sounds made up.
I'm afraid we have some bad news.
Bad news? What kind of bad news?
Well, after a recent audit, your job title is no longer required.
No longer required?
Nope. Sorry.
But I'm the lead analyst for Coffee Ring Forensics.
Oh, I totally understand, but $2 billion a year to analyze coffee ring patterns is just too much.
So that's it? You're just gonna throw me out like a Times Square hooker? I've been here for 37 years!
Sorry about that.
You've been dogs! Nobody even voted for you, Elon!
Send in the next one. Says here you're the lead protein specialist.
That's right!
What does a protein specialist even do?
I collect protein samples from employees in the bathroom, in closets, and sometimes under the desk.
Says here you got a $2 million a year knee pad budget.
You can't put a price on your knees.
And $5 million a year for pearl necklace cleanup services?
Oh, yeah. A protein specialist is a messy and sticky job.
And also very unnecessary.
Yeah, you just got dozed. What the hell's going on here? Am I in trouble or something?
It says here that you're the director of the Department of Random Button Pushing.
That's correct.
And what exactly is it that you do here?
I do experimental random button pressing on office equipment to see what the button does.
Well, I'm sorry. $2 million a year for random button pushing is just too expensive.
Yeah, we're gonna have to let you go. You can't do this to me. Who's gonna press the random button?
Sorry, you've been told.
Did you totally want to see me or whatever?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is total sexual harassment.
Says here you're chief of the flat office navigation team.
Oh my gosh, would you stop trying to date me?
What do you do here?
Duh, it's totally obvious. I lead team expeditions to the edge of the office.
Well, $20 million a year to find the edge of the office is way too much. So
you've been dozed.
Oh my gosh, I think I'm dying.
Are you okay?
Oh, would you stop hitting on me? I'm almost dead.
Do you need an ambulance or something?
No, it's okay. It was just a climate change.
Says here you're the vice president of office plant gossip?
Yeah, so what's your point, you racist? Page 47! And what exactly does a VP of office plant gossip do? I document and interpret the secret racist conversations of office plants, you racist! $5 million a year for plant gossip? Page 47!
You've been dodged! What is this all about? Is my brother okay?
Settle down. Your brother's fine, all right? We're just here to find out exactly what it is you do around here.
I only do my brother. I swear. We want to know what your job title is. Oh, I am a senior consultant for cloud shape interpretation.
What the hell is that?
I specialize in predicting racist events based on cloud formations.
$20 million a year for cloud formations?
You've been
dodged! Is this about me pooping my pants in the office again? Or what's going on here? It says here you're the chief bubble wrap popper. That's right, squirrel.
So you just pop bubble wrap all day?
Well, I mean, it's a little more complex than that. So what is it that you do around here? Well, I mean, I'm the chief bubble wrap popper.
Yeah, you said that, but what does a bubble wrap popper do?
And why does a bubble wrap popper need a fucking security team? Oh, man, don't get me started on the life of a bubble wrap popper. I'm lucky to be alive.
You've been dodged.
Let's talk about this Medicare issue. And this is coming into focus now because President Trump is in the White House and he is being blamed for this Medicare issue. I noticed that the local representative that I talk about from time to time, Jason Crow, had a so-called town hall. He never does that, by the way. He doesn't even live in his district. That's Aurora, Colorado. So now all of a sudden he felt the need to try to throw shade on President Trump concerning Medicare. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clear that up. And then, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and clap back there, Jason. I'm going to have some town halls of my own. Because, see, you people are not going to get the floor. And you're not going to hold the narrative because you're full of shit. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, I worked in the federal agency that facilitated what is happening right now. Okay, I was in the meetings with region partners. We discussed how the Medicare, what we know as Medicare unwinding, was going to affect the people of this country. Okay, on the Medicare issue, there was an unwinding that started to take place during the Biden and Harris. This started under them. It was called an unwinding. This unwinding meant that Medicare patients were going to get cut from the national program, and that the medical billing and the Medicare portion that handled the billing and insurance and things of that sort was going to go back to the states. They did this under Biden and Harris. You cannot gaslight me on it. I was there, and I was in the federal agency that facilitated the Medicare unwinding. Here, I'll bring the receipts. I've got some articles. We don't even have to go conservative media. We'll go leftist media. MSN. Wait, I'm going to hold off on that one. Let me talk about the unwinding for a little bit. The unwinding was meant to keep people with continuing coverage during this period. And I do not recall the media going apoplectic when Biden unwound Medicare on the national level, like Trump is doing with the Department of Education. He is returning the responsibility to the states, just like the Dobbs decision, the Roe v. Wade, all about returning it to the states. So when Biden did it, nobody said a word. That's why you don't know what's going on. But guess what? I'm going to help you to understand what's going on. The truth, not the Democrat narrative that's always false and for their agenda and in their best interest. Just a couple of things. I have from kff.org 10 things to know about the unwinding of Medicaid continuous enrollment provision. And this was 9 June 2023. States can partner with, I'm just going to go over a couple of these and then I'm going to jump to another subject for the sake of time. States can partner with MCOs, community health centers, and other partners to conduct outreach. They were doing outreach so that people could understand what was happening to their Medicaid coverage. Biden did away with it and nobody said a word. But now all of a sudden you want to just blow smoke. Another aspect of this, the number of people without health insurance could increase if people who lose Medicaid coverage are unable to transition to other coverage. Biden unwound Medicare in 2023, and you said nothing. Said a word. Another aspect of this, and this is what I want to talk about from MSN. Headline: Biden and Harris raided Medicare to fund Green New Deal. Premiums are now set to spike. Interesting. This was MSN, by the way. And this was 3 months ago. When Democrats rammed through the Inflation Reduction Act during the days they controlled all of Washington, D.C., it ignited a chain reaction that led to higher Medicare costs for America's senior citizens. Nearly 2 years after its passage, the IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, has diverted nearly $260 billion from the projected Medicare savings plan to pay for special interest handouts like large tax credits for costly electric vehicles, enormous subsidies paid to big health insurer PBM corporations and funding healthcare programs for illegal immigrants. Of course. Ron Fitzwater, he is the chief executive officer of the Missouri Pharmacy Association, and he wrote an op-ed in the Missouri Times going over these things. The Biden-Harris administration is not protecting Medicare. They're stealing from it. That was a direct quote from the aforementioned. So I made videos about this that went viral until TikTok nuked my channel because, see, I'm over the target. So those two things. Biden and Harris started unwinding Medicare back in 2023. I was there. You can't gaslight me. Number two, they raided the coffers and stole, right here, this is MSN, $260 billion from Medicare. They stole it and diverted it to green energy programs, you know, kind of like Solyndra and all that. So your Medicare premiums are going up. You can blame Biden and Harris. Do you understand what's happening now? I'm going to keep reminding you. This is not the only video I'm going to make on this because you got to stay informed. Happy Friday to everybody except the shit libs and Democrats. Peace.
Yeah, I thought I'd do one on just her clips here. They're all really good. I've been trying to get her on, but like I'll message her and try to set up a time. By the time she sees it, that date and time's already gone by. It takes her sometimes a week to see him or so. But we have been in conversations. It's awful busy, you know, sort of like Peggy D. It's really hard to get her. So I'm gonna bring up another one. I think she's totally right. That was a time bomb on that stuff, you know, total time bomb in that. So there's a lot more. She's got a lot more good clips. She goes on an issue on each one of them. This next one's about taxpayers funding of the Ukraine and the illegals. That's a good clip.
We've been paying for Ukrainians to be on Social Security.
Can you believe this?
The Biden administration, Biden and Harris, absolutely hate Americans. And clearly,
Ukrainians are on Social Security.
Another of the activities that went on through the Ukrainian Laundromat LLC, as I call it. And what brought this to my attention was Data Republican on X, who you should follow her if you haven't, who is doing an excellent job.
I'm sure there's a kickback there somewhere on those. There's probably some names that don't even exist. Maybe some of those dead people are on
data guru and loves the numbers and loves solving mysteries concerning all of this money that has just been going all over the world to everybody except American citizens. See, we're the taxpayers. We're just the ones who have been footing the bill. It's like you and your friends all get together and have you all go out to the bar and there's a big party and everybody just starts leaving and you're the only one left and you get to foot the bill. That's how this has been going. Anyway, there's a CBS News article that reminds me of what's been going on concerning this back from 24th of September 2023. In Ukraine, U.S. tax dollars are funding more than just military aid. This is CBS, part of the whore Jezebel media. Even they're reporting on it. Back over here, another of the whore Jezebel media, Newsweek. Newsweek reported on the 25th of September 2023, headline, U.S. will pay the salaries to thousands of Ukrainians during government shutdown. So I was still a federal employee during that time, and I got the emails, and we went through all of the fear mongering and whatever else, and the NTEU, the union, squabbling about the shutdown, blah blah blah. But during a government shutdown where nobody would have got paid, they were totally fine giving Ukraine paying their salaries. So let me get this straight. So the U.S. government was going to shut down all government operations and not pay American citizens, but you were going to pay Ukrainians. Got it. So, incidentally, one of the areas that Americans paid for, footed the bill for, was over 50,000 first responders in Ukraine. Not here, but Ukraine. They were totally fine. They also gave them over almost 200 Bradley fighting vehicles. My husband used to be a senior Bradley instructor, so I know quite well about the Bradleys. But also the illegal aliens. Remember the whistleblower who came forward from Social Security Administration about 2 weeks ago, who revealed that the Biden administration, Biden and Harris, wanted it set up to where these illegal aliens who were in their 20s, 30s, 40s, who just got here, never paid into the Social Security system, not even once. They wanted to jailbreak and rig and do cheat codes in the Social Security system so that illegal foreign nationals who were unlawfully present could get on Social Security, get $3,000-$4,000 a month for the rest of their pathetic existence, living here and squandering off our money for free. That happened. She had the receipts. She worked for the Social Security Administration. So don't try to gaslight me. And now let's jump over to X, to Data Republican and her findings, which are all of these multiple recipients for Social Security living over in Ukraine under the classification of direct payments. There is no way that $231,000 or more dollars worth of Social Security, this is per month, I do believe. There is no way that this many American citizens jumped up and moved to Ukraine. Usually expats move to places like Costa Rica or parts of Mexico, Cabo, somewhere like that, somewhere warm and tropical, and certainly not to a place that's supposedly in the middle of a hot kinetic war with Russia. Why the hell would you leave the US as an American citizen and move to freaking Ukraine? So that does not make sense. But now it's starting to bring more and more questions than provide answers. But it definitely is something that we need to keep bugging these politicians who supposedly represent us in your district. What the hell is going on? Where is my damn money? And why does it seem like everybody else across the planet can get my money, but I can't? Because you can't get Social Security right now. And even if you do, you might get like $800 a month if you're a senior citizen. You ain't getting what these Ukrainians have been getting and what these illegal aliens have been getting. They freaking hate you. How much more proof do you need that Democrats absolutely freaking hate you? How much? So once again, just to reiterate, are Ukrainians getting Social Security and you're footing the bill for it? That's crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy. That is something else. God, dog, they hate us.
Yeah, I think in chat there, you're right. Well, first I will talk about this Social Security thing. I bet you they're just using a lot of names that don't even really exist to milk the system. They're money laundering, and the wars are to money laundering with NATO on all this and that. They're using it to kill a lot of people. Money laundering. They want to take everything from you. You know, you'll own nothing, and they will be happy. They will be the ones that'll be happy. They're desperate to get this war. That's why the EU was going to all of a sudden guarantee 800 billion of the euros or the pounds from England, which are worth a little bit more than a dollar. So it's close to $1 trillion just to keep this war going and have people killing. You know. And then they cancel elections over there, so they can't have elections. Jail their opponents, just like what's going on in Romania and all that kind of stuff. It's just that they got to keep the money pumping to them to keep themselves in power and stuff like that. So I'm going to move on to the next one by Karen Kennedy. She's very good, I think. I'm dying to get her on, but she's very busy. She has like 100,000 followers and gets a lot of messages in that. So.
for the
It's a good
15
person.
million
I chatted with her
time.
before.
It was Joe Biden and Kamala Harris that screwed up the Medicare and Medicaid system. I have the receipts. I am going
Yeah, I think the best thing for USA right now would be to pull out of NATO because we're funding it.
to say this again because I keep hearing Democrat politicians trying to throw shade on Donald Trump, and he hasn't even been in there 2 full months. I don't understand how he is the one being blamed for Medicare and Medicaid problems when he literally just started his job. Can people use logic instead of outrage and emotions for just once? Use your head for something beside a damn hat rack. Politico. 10 August 2023. Headline: Biden administration warns states as millions lose Medicaid. Politico. Leftist Democrat raghag. Even they wrote about this. Okay? The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, CMS, is ramping up pressure on states that may be failing to meet federal requirements as they renew Medicaid coverage for millions of people for the first time since the start of the coup. Okay. The thing that happened, I was a federal employee and I worked alongside with and partnered with CMS, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. They are the biggest federal contractor, as it were, and they handle health records for millions of American citizens and illegals. So it was called an unwinding. I was in the freaking meetings with region partners concerning the unwinding of federal Medicaid to go back to the states. Oh, I've heard that somewhere before. President Trump got excoriated for it, but somehow the Jezebel, Sodom and Gomorrah, whore media won't talk about Joe Biden unwinding Medicaid back in 2023. And now I sit and listen to Michelle Wu give a testimony today on sanctuary city policy for San Francisco, I think she is, and she brings up Medicaid, and President Trump needs to stop getting rid of Medicare and Medicaid. And what the Medicaid? Nobody asked back in 2020. Jason Crow, that representative in Colorado, had some kind of town hall, by the way, in a white liberal Trump-hating district, part of Aurora. See, this is the Aurora that I told you about in previous videos. There are different parts of Aurora. Aurora is big. He was at a town hall in a room filled with a bunch of white liberal racist haters who have Trump derangement syndrome. This was not the Aurora that you see on TV with the Trenderagua breaking and entering and taking over the real estate market. That's on the ghetto side of Aurora. No, he was over on the white side of Aurora. See how this works? You know, these little tricks he's pulling. Anyway, he had this town hall, last week to talk about, oh, Trump's taking away your Medicare and your Medicaid. Bro, this happened with the unwinding with Biden and Harris. Okay. And by the way, just to solidify and bring the receipts again. I'll do this as many times as I need to. because I want to keep this fresh in your minds. Bro, Donald Trump just started his job. He is not responsible for the Medicare and Medicaid debacle that is taking place right now. That was started by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Oh, what do we have here? I'm glad you asked. MSN, a story with a headline that says Biden and Harris raided Medicare to fund the Green New Deal. Premiums are now set to spike. Well, isn't that interesting? This was from 3 months ago. When Democrats rammed through the Inflation Reduction Act during the days that they controlled all of Washington, D.C., it ignited a chain reaction that led to higher Medicare costs for American senior citizens. Why didn't I hear you report on this? Why didn't you have a town hall about this there, Jason Crow? Why didn't you say anything about this there, Michelle Wu? Woo. Nearly 2 years after its passage, the Inflation Reduction Act has diverted nearly $260 billion from the projected Medicare savings plan to pay for special interest handouts like large tax credits for costly electric vehicles, enormous subsidies paid to big health insurer PBM corporations, and funding healthcare programs for illegal immigrants. This was from Ron Fitzwater, Chief Executive Officer of the Missouri Pharmacy Association. He wrote an op-ed in the Missouri Times on this very subject. He goes on to say, the Biden-Harris administration is not protecting Medicare. They're stealing from it. Ooh. Stop gaslighting people about Medicare and Medicaid. This was Biden and Harris, not Donald Trump. Stop gaslighting, because we're going to keep coming in behind you and we're going to put you back on Front Street.
I don't know what people think on that. It's definitely been crashing this stuff. He's trying to starve us, actually, the older people especially, crash United States, you know. They're trying to bring us down. I'll bring up the next one.
Nicole Wallace and Rachel Maddow, you need to be fired immediately. MSNBC, your ratings, you wonder why. Your ratings are already in the toilet, and you put these disgusting coke whores, Nicole Wallace and Rachel Maddow, you are white liberal.
That's part of their playbook, Linda. I played things where they all say exactly the same thing, word for word on their shows. Exactly, it's all scripted on their attack on Trump and that. So they want to have a red flag thing, and I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but they're trying to. They're trying like hell to crush America economy.
Racist females,
you're right,
you
Linda.
are the scourge of the earth. You're all alike. It has been proven that DEI that you support and celebrate only benefits white females like yourself. So you bringing up race and color all the time is now backfiring on you, because guess what? We're going to turn it on you. I never mentioned race before, but now that you've made it a game, don't hate the player. You hate the game. You created it. I'm going to turn it on your ass. MSNBC, those two kooks need to be fired immediately. Both of these individuals came on after President Trump's beautiful speech last night, where he honored DJ Daniels, who is a brain cancer survivor. Like, who in their right mind? You wonder why nobody wants to watch. You wonder why nobody wants to watch.
I agree with all the chat.
Shitty.
It is planned. Scripted.
Wow. So anyway, Rachel Maddow said something to the effect of accusing Trump of being disgusting for spotlighting DJ's heroic battle with brain cancer. So wait a minute. I guess if it was some tranny who
I thought it
was only 13, who was bandaged from the head to their feet, that they wheeled from the hospital, who just had all his body parts cut off, I guess that would be fine to showcase and highlight that, right? Because you people worship the island of Dr. Moreau.
Same thing with Fauci.
But this 13-year-old kid who has been battling brain cancer since he was small, President Trump invited him. He was a guest of the president and the first lady, you assholes. Nicole Wallace, with her ugly face, gosh, what a nasty, who's the schlep who's got to sleep next to that nasty, ugh, God.
She speaks her mind, I tell you that.
I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer, but I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one that has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon these people. You disgusting crack whore. What a skank. Nicole Wallace, that bitch really needs to be fired. I want her fired. You are a racist ass bigot. You are racist, Nicole Wallace. I want you out. You want to talk about color and race all the time? No, I want you out. Why didn't you say anything about the actual police officers who took their own lives after viewing the disgusting, demonic content on Anthony Weiner's laptop? Why didn't you say anything about that there, Nicole Wallace? Don't worry, I'll wait. No officers killed themselves as a result of January 6th. And if you're talking about Brian Sicknick, he was already sick. He had been sick for a long time, dude. He had a stroke days after January 6th, you idiot. You people still are pushing these disgusting lies. No cops killed themselves as a result of January 6th.
I agree, Deb.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You can't even be happy for a poor kid that has battled against cancer and is in remission. I had a critically ill child who ultimately was taken out by Obamacare. You disgusting whore. You can't even be glad for anything. Anything that's tied to Trump, you're going to just spit on it. No matter how the man is. You know what? I want them fired. And you will be receiving formal emails.
Gregory, I didn't know.
Other documentation. I want them fired for this stunt. I want Nicole fucking Wallace fired. You don't get to keep doing this. You do not get to keep doing this. We can't get along. We just cannot get along. Hashtag not like us.
Yeah, I didn't know, Gregory, she was on a campaign ad or his first campaign run in an advertisement, huh? And Gregory also said Nicole Wallace is disgusting and lying a little like that. Can't agree more. Why would you want to keep her on? She gives more fuel. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. They'll just get another crazy love that's probably in there. I'd like to see that ship sink for sure. Absolutely, I would. Now she tends to do these, I guess, on her lunch breaks and before she comes home from work after she gets out of work. You know, that's why all these are in her car, and she tends to do them. You know, and she sees a lot of the stuff. she can't really respond until she gets done, you know. So I'm trying to get her on. I'm trying. Believe me, the communication is very slow back and forth.
President Trump and his joint.
I'd like her to come over to Wimpkin and do these.
He's only been in office not even 3 months, and he's giving that was basically an update to the people. And his cabinet, his entire cabinet was invited. The entire Congress was invited, and these nasty, disgusting Democrats. You know what? There is no unifying with them. There is no unifying with these people. There is no talking to these people. There is no reasoning with these people. They are truly evil. President Trump was
say that again.
Brought in guests. Jocelyn Nungary's mom was there. Her 12-year-old daughter was brutally raped, tortured, and murdered, and thrown into the water, discarded like a sour dish rag by Venezuelan illegal aliens, the same ones that have plagued the city of Denver and the state of Colorado overall, causing mayhem, destruction, spending up all our money, going into and robbing people. I could go on all day, but anyway, so she was invited by the president. Laken Riley's family was invited by the president, her mom, her sister, and Laken Riley was there again, brutally assaulted and hit in the head with a freaking boulder and bashed her head in and killed her by an illegal alien from Venezuela. So her family was invited. And then, of course, we have young brother DJ Daniels, who was a 13-year-old brain cancer survivor. They told him 5 months after his diagnosis he would be dead. And turns out he's still alive and kicking. And it's amazing. He's an amazing 13-year-old, thriving young man. He wants to be a police officer. And he has been given honorary police officer status. Really? And last night, President Trump presented him with an honorary Secret Service badge. And the new head of the Secret Service, presented him with the badge. He gave him a hug. We were crying. Everybody's crying. Then you had the young man, the all-star, still in high school. He's getting ready to graduate. Got like a 4.35 GPA. Perfect, all A's, everything, never missed a day. Perfect scores, 6 letters for athletics. I mean, the kid is just he's an amazing kid. And his dream is to go to West Point. So last night, President Trump announced to him and to everybody who was watching, guess what, son? You're in West Point. You know, made a little things happen here and there, and you're going to West Point. He's crying, his mom's crying, his dad's crying, I'm crying, DJ crying, everybody crying, the first lady crying, everybody crying. And just we're just having a moment. And just really just proud of this kid and his accomplishments. And here's the Democrats. So I cannot. Oh God, they are absolutely insufferable. They're so ugly. You ever notice how ugly Democrats are? Like they're all toe up from the flow up, like ugly, inside, because it's inside and it resonates out. Look at a picture or video of Maxine Waters and tell me I'm not right. They're ugly, all of them, even the ones who think they cute. You're ugly. They sitting there, they can't even clap. They were sitting on their phones while everybody was honoring these precious people, American citizens, not just freaking dreamers. The only thing that these nasty Democrats clapped about was when
she certainly has a disdain for the commie left. I think that's a good thing.
President mentioned that there might be some aid for Ukraine because, Got to keep that money going. Got to get their little kickbacks on the front end, you know. Got to get little Volodymyr Zelensky his money. You know, his wife only has one Bugatti. The bitch got to have another Bugatti. Got to get that money, baby. That's the only thing that they could find that they could unify on, was getting money to Ukraine, because it benefits them personally. That's the only reason. They don't give a shit about Ukraine. They care about that money.
And their power.
Ukrainian Laundromat LLC. President Trump gave a unifying speech. He talked about the golden age and how we are going to open up businesses, and companies are returning to America to manufacture their products, to make them here, to provide jobs for American citizens, not illegals. This is the golden age. This is the Renaissance. This is Camelot. See, Democrats don't want you to have anything, because they don't have a job. You see, that's how this
They
works.
want control.
You have to continually need them. And if there's always some problem to solve, then they can keep their jobs, because they don't do anything anyway. All they do is promise you that they're going to fix something. They don't ever fix it. There's no money in fixing it. Why do you think Big Pharma is so big? There's no money in cures. And there's no money in peace, only war. So, President Trump is unifying. I distinctly recall this. I distinctly recall Joe Biden in his red speech. Remember that? Remember Joe Biden in his red speech? Hey! Hey! Mega! With the red background and the poor Marines in the background being held hostage by his old ass. Remember that red speech? So I guess that was unifying to Democrats, right? Even the New Yorker, this was from the New Yorker. The leftist New Yorker even said the title of this article says Joe Biden's "This is not normal" speech on the rising danger of MAGA Trumpists. So more than half the country he called extremists and terrorists. But he was unifying. I got it. We cannot reason with Democrats. We cannot, you know what? We have the majority, I reiterate. We don't need you. We don't need bipartisan. There is no bipartisan immigration bill that is going to do any good. We want the SAVE Act, and that's it. We don't need you. You are disgusting. You are despicable. You won't even clap for a brain cancer survivor. And by the way, I don't want to hear not another word about Donald Trump being a racist. Everybody he invited there except one family was Black or Hispanic. So I don't want to hear shit else from you about racism, unless you're talking about yourselves, of course, because y'all is racist as hell.
Oh, she's totally right. And then the money laundering there, it's not just some of these bills going supposedly to the Ukraine. They're hiding some of the money coming in other avenues on other bills and other spending. But a lot of it's not even supposedly getting there. It's just disappearing. Probably goes to Act Blue and all that kind of stuff, and get commies elected over in Europe and stuff. So.
Secretary Marco Rubio today is starting the process to revoke visas of foreign students who come to American universities and hate on American citizens and practice anti-Semitism.
And a lot of those foreign students are coming here on our dime. We're the ones paying for it.
In this country, not going to continue to do that. We got one ally in the Middle East, and it ain't Palestine or wherever. This is America. I don't want foreign interests, I don't care who it is, going above American citizens. You're not coming here burning flags. How dare you? You're not coming here and using up our resources and getting free shit based on your parents getting you here or you getting student loans and then using up our resources, walking around with your nose stuck up in the air and hating on us when we're supporting your ass. Take your bitch ass back on to where you came from. That's number one. Thank you, Senator or Secretary of State Marco Rubio, for taking all visas away from these foreign ass students who hating on this country. Action, action, action. Get it popping. Number two, the president has ordered $400 million of them endowments going to Columbia University for allowing these violent protesters for supporting Hamas and their anti-Semitic practices against students who were just there to go to school. They didn't have any political side or anything. These students were obviously Jewish students. They were terrorizing these students. All they wanted to do was go to class. But no, then you have these individuals doing this, being violent, because that's what they do. They support Hamas. They're violent. Okay? You want to have your views.
That's where a lot of the money's going too.
Views. But you're not going to publicly come here to this country and
to support a lot of the protesting. They're trying to take down America, and that's part of the trying to take it down from the inside.
Keep hating on
destroying the family and all that kind of stuff
on us, and think you're going to keep getting all kinds of freebies and perks and getting paid and just keep going to college and you ain't going to have no consequences. This ain't Biden and Harris, bitch. You gonna go and you take your little narrow monkey ass right back to where you came from. Here, you can't come here and behave and be a freaking adult and not a petulant 4-year-old. Then you gonna go on and get to stepping. $400 million of endowments. I bet you the staff had a dang gone nervous breakdown. You can't pay these professors $1.5 million when you have no endowments. Oh, but see how this
a lot
works?
Of these commies.
See how this works? You know what? I like this system much better. I like this system better. It's just awesome. It's Friday. I'm having a blast. This is what's gonna work. No protests against America in America. If you do, bye. Deuces.
Violent protests. They're not just protests. It's one thing to protest and march with a sign and all that kind of stuff. Even scream and yell, but they get violent as well. They burn things, they break stuff, they steal stuff, all that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous.
Al Green, Democratic congressman
out
of Houston, I do believe, who was thrown out of President Trump's joint address to Congress this past week, had to be dragged out by the sergeant at arms for his unprofessional freak out and petulant behavior. So unbecoming of a congressman, I cannot even tell you. We need upgrades in Congress. We do not need those who continually have a political axe to grind. You need to remember that you are representing your constituents, and your constituents who live in failing schools, who live on streets that are riddled with potholes and disrepair, bridges in disrepair, schools that are failing, economic problems, medical system that has failed, all while you have been in Congress for years, while trying to always throw shade on Donald Trump, who has only been in office for less than 2 months and has done more than all of you combined in 50 years. He has done in a month and a half. So I would go somewhere and sit the hell down and shut your old stupid ass up Al Green, you remind me of an old Baptist preacher who couldn't wait for the little girls to start physically developing so you could pull her into your office and tell her that she needs to save her body for Jesus. Except when it comes to you, you better watch yourself, Al Green. You are not in a good place. You should just go somewhere, sit down in a corner and pretend you don't exist, vote by mail, which I do not advocate for, but you should stay out of the spotlight. So what does he do after being...
I think they should make the Doge a permanent thing in our government. So even, he's supposed to have them, what, for 18 months? I think they're needed permanently, if you ask me. So that this doesn't happen again, because the government will grow again, because they make a lot of these bills with, wonderful names and titles and crap like that on it. When you dig down into the details where the money's going and all that kind of crap, it would make you sick. It would probably blow your mind, I tell you that.
Censured by the House this past week for his absolutely ridiculous behavior and shaking his cane, because I guess that's just what's supposed to make President Trump go, oh, oogie boogie. Whatever. You're not scary. You're dumb. So he is going to file articles of impeachment, according to Breitbart, for Trump's incivility. That's unacceptable. When he first started, you were going to file articles of impeachment against him for Gaza. And now it's this, for having your ass thrown out because you people have thrown decorum off a bridge. Yes, you have. And Speaker Mike Johnson had to bring the House back in order. By the way, there, Al Green, that's the people's house. That's my house. And in my house, sit your stupid ass down and shut up. All right? Now, articles of impeachment, that's not going to go over well. You're wasting taxpayer money and time, and we're not doing any more Russia, impeachment. We're not doing anything. As you can see, Nancy Pelosi sitting there looking like she had a bottle of damn Crown Royal, is broken and has no power, and you certainly, not being of sound mind or body, Al Green, have nothing to say. How is it that you only make what, $175,000 a year, but your net worth is over $24 million? You're not smart. You're not tech savvy. You don't own anything in the way of business. You don't make or manufacture products. How are you amassing this small fortune? You need to answer that. Oh, yeah, Al Green. And you also need to slow your roll, back your bus up, and sit your old stupid ass down, country ass, and explain these allegations against you. Zero Hedge reports Al Green reportedly had sex with drugged out staffer, then sued her for blackmail. Whoopsie. There's that story. Ding on it. Oh, also, Al Green, according to the Washington Free Beacon, Democratic Congressman Al Green sends preemptive press release denying sexual assault allegation. Oh, what are you trying to do? Get ahead of a story? That was in September of 2017, I do believe. Yes. Al Green, you have some splaining to do while you're walking around while you're trying to impeach Donald Trump for something that you did. Interesting.
Gregory, I'm trying to get her to come on as a guest and also make a channel on here so she does her own thing. She would be doing these. She tends to do them about 3 p.m.
Oh,
Eastern
I do
time.
recall this congressional slush fund that was set up for congressmen just like you, Al Green. It's usually 95% of the time it's Democrats. It's always you people. You just cannot contain yourselves. According,
a lot of the Democrats are lawyers, so they know how to write these laws and do all the budget things where they can sneak money in and this and that. And a lot of the staff members are Democrats too. They're hired to sneak in on Republican staff members and stuff like that, and throw wrenches in it and leak stuff and all that kind of stuff.
To Revolver in April of 2024. You should subscribe to Revolver News, by the way. Thanks to relentless political targeting of President Trump, there's been a spotlight on the use of hush money. That hush money term, remember when they dragged President Trump through the court system in the mud for that ugly, disgusting, bedraggled old sea hag, aka E. Jean Carroll, over some weird sexual allegations that he would literally never touch her. But anyway, so slush fund. Yeah, so according to the Office of Congressional Compliance, there was a 1995 Congressional Accountability Act that was set up for, this sort of thing, to kind of give a taxpayer-funded slush fund to congressional members so they don't have to pay for sexual assault settlements out of their own pocket. $17 million from 1997 to 20.
And we don't need to be paying for all these trans surgeries and stuff like that, especially what they're doing on the kids. Really, what they're protesting is we're not stopping them from being trans. We're stopping paying for that out of our tax dollars.
2017. These bastards have been stealing our money. Yet another fashion, just literally dipping their hands into our pockets, pulling our money out while we suffer, and they continue to try to convince you that we need them as representatives. Al Green, you better shut your mouth. You've ruined your career, if you've ever even had one. But the people are angry, and we are sick of your kind. Get somewhere and sit down and shut up for the next 2 years. You're going to be turfed out in 2026. I can just feel it.
What does everyone think in chat? Did the Democrats hurt themselves during Trump's speech there the other night or not? Are they going to be able to keep spending it on the media, the MSN and stuff like that, MSNBC and places like that, so that they end up bringing the polls back? Do you think they hurt themselves or not? I think they have. I just don't know how long the memory is on this. They're going to come up with a red flag or something, I think.
The housing market has been in a slump, and it started with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That is a fact. The numbers prove it, and people's learned and lived experience is it's you can't dispute it. We know that during President Trump's time in office from 2017 to 2021, the interest rates were 2.5% or lower, depending on the Fed rate, but it was definitely like 2.5% back in 2017. 2019 was absolutely.
Yes, when I talked to her, she's got everything right there. Everything you talk about, she knows the subjects very well, but she used to work in government,
Fire. And we all know what happened late 2019. So the housing market has continued to suffer. And I know here in Colorado, you could put your house on the market during Trump's term. Even, the ones who couldn't stand him made a ton of money off of him. You put your house on the market on Tuesday, by Friday, you got 10 all cash offers, and they're like, it was a bidding war. And you're selling your house like way above asking. So people got used to that. And now, since Joe Biden and Kamala Harris got in there and completely tanked the housing market, the interest rates have gone way over, like up to 7.5%. It's crazy. How the hell you paying 7.5% on a $600,000 loan? Bro, that's like $3,000-$4,000 a month. Who the hell? Anyway, one of the things that we have heard often is that, oh, there's a housing shortage. That's why it's a housing shortage. There ain't no damn.
A lot of the congressmen, when they get out, they become lobbyists, and maybe Trump's trying to address that, make them wait at least 10 years before they become lobbyists. Might be enough time, that they wouldn't hurt us, hurt us financially like they do. That the companies would have to wait 10 years to get their person in there to lobby, So a lot of powerful former Congress people do that. I don't know what exactly the law should be, but there should be something. Or somehow trace the money where it's coming back from. I don't know.
Housing shortage. It's an affordability crisis. I have been saying that for years under this Biden and Harris regime. Thank Christ they're gone. This is, there's not a shortage. And I'm going to bring the receipts. Hear me out. I look around Denver, I know in like areas surrounding Denver, the suburbs, there are just tons and tons and tons of apartments going up. That is considered housing. You got also single family units and these famous builders like Richmond Homes and Lennar and other builders that are just new neighborhoods sprouting out all over the place. So according to, I've got Fred, which is the St. Louis Fed, and the housing inventory active listing count in the United States as of January 2025 is 829,376 housing units available. A variable that I'm going to inject here is that more housing is going to be opening up because illegal aliens are getting deported. Honestly, people don't see that as a factor, but it really is because they were getting prioritized over American citizens.
A lot of these hotels will open up too.
We have seen how these loser Democrat politicians in sanctuary cities, states like Colorado and New York and California and other places around the country, how they prioritize those people and they help them get into housing. So that now the easy thing to say is that, well, there's a housing shortage. You'd hear that from economists. There's not a housing shortage. There's over 830,000 housing units available and climbing. But people have the golden handcuffs on. I called it the Wild Wild West because, before it was the Wild Wild West under Donald Trump. You can put your house on the market on Tuesday.
BlackRock's buying a lot of these up. A lot of these homes. They're trying to grab them all. They want to control them all.
You can sell it by Friday, way above asking. But now people are like, ooh, pump the brakes. I ain't selling because you got them golden handcuffs on, bro. You still sitting in a 2.5% interest rate. And you don't want to sell your house because you're going to leave your house. You're going to sell it. And you're going into a market where it's like 6.5%. What? So you're going to stay right where you are. I've got a study, according to the Association of American Universities. This study, released on the 2nd of July last year, finds U.S. does not have a housing shortage, but a shortage of affordable housing. Told you I bring the receipts. This study shows that new research from the University of Kansas finds that most of the nation's markets have ample housing available, ample housing in total, but nearly all housing lacks enough affordable units to very low-income households. And not just low-income households, but middle-class, middle-income households. See, for the wealthy, they don't have affordability problems, so they're not included in this conversation. They're going to buy and sell homes no matter what, and they're going to buy and sell to each other. The luxury market is a totally different animal. There is no shortage. They just have money, and when they want to move, they move. It's that simple. But this is a very, very interesting article and a study. I suggest you go and read it. It's the Association of American Universities. And there's no housing shortage. There are plenty of housing units available. What the problem is these homes, I know in an area in Colorado like Lakewood, that's right outside of Denver, west of Denver. You're not finding anything in Lakewood for less than $600,000 unless it's a cardboard freaking box. And those homes are not all just beautiful, 7-8 bedroom. We're talking about like 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. But it's the area, it's close to the mountains. So the closer you get to the mountains, the more money you're going to come up off of. I'd look at Reventure also for more information like this, but just to wrap it up, there is no housing shortage per se. It's an affordability crisis, primarily for the middle class, certainly for the lower class, but the middle class, because the middle class buys homes. Anyway, happy Friday. More fleecing of our money. American taxpayers have been on the hook for every ideological pet project of the Biden and Harris administration for the last 4 years. One of those was reported by the New York Post and locally by the Rocky Mountain Voice. I want you to be made aware of, if you haven't already, that HHS splurged more than $22 billion of our money on grants for migrants, illegal aliens, including cash for cars, home loans, and startups. Hold on. Grants are not loans. So these were grants for homes. Basically, we bought homes for illegal aliens, while American citizens can barely afford an apartment. I want you to really let this sink in. The Biden and Harris administration spent $22 billion of our money to give housing grants to foreign nationals who are unlawfully present in this country, handing them loads of cash for them to be housed.
Now, Trump's administration, I think it was Noam there, has changed it so that illegals won't be able to get loans now. That's a big start, How can they freaking get a loan and own the house and they aren't even a citizen? I don't get it.
Let me ask you something. When is the last time you saw a homeless illegal alien? Don't worry, I'll wait. You haven't. Because from the time that they arrived, I know here in Denver, from the time they arrived, they were quickly housed. Okay, hotels. The other ones who had children, they were quickly put in apartments, brand new homes. That mayor, Mike Johnston, got in front of Congress the other day and lied his funny looking ass off in front of the entire country. Used $2 million. $2 million. Throwing these numbers around, sometimes it gets crazy. $2 million of our tax money in the state of Colorado to defend himself so that he could be coached leading up to the congressional hearing. $2 million of taxpayer money. So he still looked like an ass, and he still got owned by the MAGA members of Congress. Let's talk a little bit about this. The Department of Health and Human Services ramped up grants from 2021 to 2024, which included cash assistance to buy cars, homes, and even build credit to start up businesses, according to a shocking watchdog report that found taxpayers were left on the hook for $22.6 billion. This was under the Office of Refugee Resettlement, or ORR. They spent our money to make sure that what they call, I know they call in Colorado, the new Americans, They have an Office of the New Americans here in Denver at the Capitol. Why are you now referring to them as the New Americans? What about those of us who foot the bill? So, just so you know, the settling asylum seekers and other refugees in America, ORR drastically increased the number, this is Rocky Mountain Voice, of illegals eligible to receive funding over the bulk of Biden's term, which with more than $10 billion shelled out to grant receiving organizations, NGOs, just in fiscal year 2023. So no wonder these ratchet ass politicians like Mike Johnston, the mayor, and Jared Polis, who is the so-called governor, and all of those connected in Colorado and across the country, no wonder they wanted to keep this so-called migrant grift going, because they've been getting fat cash, bro. These individuals brought cash to the cartelos on their way here. And then when they get here, they are getting Social Security. We all know we can go down the line, free housing, free education. It's not free. We footed the bill. So just a reminder, the individuals who were here unlawfully present and completely illegal in this country were getting apartments. Think of this: when you go to apply for a home loan or for an apartment or for condo or whatever you're housing, you have to prove who you are. You have to give your Social Security number. You have to be credit worthy. You have to have a credit score that will give you the opportunity to borrow money or to be able to move into housing. Not the illegals. Oh, no. They just moved them on in because they don't have Social Security numbers.
And
so
we're
they
paying
just
for
moved
it.
them on in.
And we pay
I
for
tell
it.
you these things not just for the sake of me being so freaking angry about this. It's really hard to put into words, but it's to remind you that we can never allow these individuals to have power again, because this is what they do. So dumb Democrats and House Democrats, all your dance videos and all the dumb shit you're going on social media posting, all you had to do was your job for your constituents, not for illegal foreign nationals, and you might not be under duress right now. We voted Trump in overwhelmingly to get rid of your ass because you don't do your job. So keep dancing and keep repping illegal aliens and stomping the yard for them. We will keep President Trump, and we will keep MAGA, and we will turf your ass out and trade you in for an upgrade because you don't work for us. You don't work for us. Hashtag not like us. Clearly, you don't give a shit about American citizens.
Yep. Totally right on that.
When the sanctuary city mayors from across the country testified the other day in front of Congress, I noticed Ayanna Pressley and her outburst, because outbursts seem to be the norm now for Democrats because they lost and because they don't have a winning message. They don't have a plan for their constituents. All they have is resist Trump. That's it. That's all. Nothing that benefits the people who send them to Washington, D.C. to do a job. One of the things I noticed about what she said is that American citizens commit more crimes, according to some statistic that she read off a sheet of paper or off her phone, that American citizens commit more crimes than illegal aliens. That is false. That is incorrect. And I'm gonna bring the receipts. I'm gonna tell you why. Because for one, Ayanna Pressley is painting from a broad brush. She is using some dumb report that she read, probably from some crank far leftist think tank, who is paid to lie to you about illegal aliens and the just absolutely numerous crimes that they commit. One of the reasons is because the crimes are not reported by the local and state police. Did you know that? Yeah. See, their crimes go unreported or underreported. The FBI crime statistics, previously, I think a year ago, it was revealed that the crime data is all jacked up. It's wrong because a lot of these jurisdictions, particularly sanctuary city jurisdictions like Denver, don't report the crimes of the migrants. I'm using migrants for the sake of conversation. I know they're not migrants, but whatever. They don't record their crimes. Number two, there is this weird thing that they have where Latino, those who are Latino, this is a fact. You can look this up yourself. I'll give you the receipts. They are considered white according to crime statistics. You'll see, I know we have in Denver, there's an ex content creator called Do Better Denver. There are a few others very notable, so I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody, but there's a lot of us who are coming out now and just sick of this communist takeover. And you can look at the bookings in different jurisdictions around Colorado, these individuals with names that clearly indicate they are not a white person.
Well, what does chat think? Are they really starting to lose the black vote? I've been waiting for that pretty much my whole life. I mean, in the 60s, they got it with welfare. I think they're starting to lose it, especially among black men. If we can give them more economic upward mobility, do better in the schools, especially for students, you know. I think it's going to flip at some point. It's going to be a 50-50 and then even flip eventually.
They are listed and classified as white, or there's some weird thing they do with like XX or something for their country of origin. They just don't include it. And the primary migrant class that has come here since Joe Biden and Kamala Harris jacked up the country are Venezuelans. And they have been listed in bookings as white. There are, let's see, we have Shore News reported on 24 September 2024, FBI report claiming crime down nationwide is missing key data from America's most violent cities. Another report says this is from the NIH, believe it or not. And this was the 2019, August of 2019, the report is called Silence Speaks, the relationship between immigration and the underreporting of crime. So even under Biden and Harris, that was under Trump, but even the NIH had to report that the crimes of illegal aliens have been unreported. This has been a problem, and it is one that we certainly need to pay attention to. Another article I'll give you is from the Daily Caller to bring the receipts. All across the nation, wanted Latino criminals are marked as white. How can you get accurate data when people are classified incorrectly according to crime reports? It's going to look like there's a surge in white folks committing crimes. This is fact. There's no advocating one way or the other. But if this is the way you're doing things, then Ayanna Pressley is a moron. She is anyway, but she's really a moron because she's missing the key data like this. Another one, Daily Caller, how the federal government inflates crime statistics for whites. This is just a fact. We know that there has been a DEI takeover.
Speaking the truth.
Under the Biden and Harris administration, even going back to Obama when DEI was introduced into the lexicon. We know that there has been a concerted effort by communists to do the Saul Alinsky rules for radicals, we target this one group and do the oppressor-oppressed method of separating and dividing communities. And they have done actually a very thorough job of it. So Ayanna Pressley.
That's what they're trying to do with the trans stuff.
American citizens are not committing more crimes. It's just that the crimes of illegal foreign nationals are not being reported. That is a fact.
True that. Didn't open up.
We have Lee Zeldin as the head of the Environmental Protection Agency. I'm so glad to see that. Maybe we can start reopening these trails that were closed under the Biden and Harris administration so we can keep off-roading and enjoying the great outdoors of our beloved country. Lee Zeldin and the EPA found headline New York Post discovers $2 billion stashed away by Biden administration for Stacey Abrams linked climate group. I think it's called Power Forward. Interesting that she would use.
Damn well Stacey Abrams thing is going to be used for leftists in Georgia and maybe other places like that, including lining her pockets and all the leftists there.
A position in basketball.
Stacey Abrams is one of the biggest racists out there.
EPA recently discovered that the Biden administration awarded $2 billion to a climate group with ties to former Georgia Democratic gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams, a fierce supporter of Biden.
Now, this isn't million, this is billion.
Power Forward Communities, a nonprofit NGO with multiple left-wing groups funded by Abrams, which the Georgia Democrat has stated she was thrilled to be a part of. So she admitted this because President Trump put her on Front Street in his speech last week and mentioned her specifically. She better worry because there's a lot of these thieves who have just been siphoning our money off of the top, the taxpayer money. But he mentioned her specifically. Dang. Let me tell you, some Krispy Kreme donuts in Georgia that are probably running out of donuts because she is just stressed the hell out. But so the funds were set aside at an outside financial institution.
Well, geez, I don't want to be censoring Dennis. Absolutely. I wasn't calling for being censored, but why resend them $2 billion? I don't know. I don't get it.
Citibank. Interesting. Before Biden left office and part of a larger $20 billion pot of money. So basically, Stacey Abrams, she grabs all of this taxpayer money and distributes it out to NGOs, leftist-tied, leftist-guided NGOs. And this was all done right before President Trump's inauguration. This was done very hurriedly. In fact, Power Forward, according to congressional testimony, Senate testimony by Senator Kennedy, Senator John Kennedy, we love Senator Kennedy from Kentucky, he cracks me up. He indicated that this Power Forward only had $100 on hand in their account. And overnight, they got a $2 billion cash infusion. They had not been in operation, but what, maybe a month or less? Certainly not very long, because this was done like overnight. All these NGOs started popping up under Biden like quick, fast, in a hurry, because they needed places to put these funds. So Stacey Abrams got $2 billion for Power Forward, where she supposedly had some climate directive for inner city individuals, like getting them stoves or something.
Payoffs.
It's, you know what? You're all crooks. You're all criminals. You've been stealing.
I would buy a lot of stoves for $2 billion.
You've been literally just stealing from us. While we work,
in that short
we
period
pay
of
our
time,
bills.
too.
We have had trouble paying our bills. People have been getting evicted from their homes. You have been putting illegal aliens up in housing. You have been making sure that illegal aliens had vehicles to drive, while American citizens have to rent cars because the interest rates are too high and the price of cars are too high. We can't buy cars. But you sure take
They
care
don't want
of
us
foreign
driving.
Stacey Abrams, you got something to worry
15-minute
about, given that
cities.
the president has put you on blast. Very interesting. I cannot wait to see what comes of this. All gas, no brakes. They stole billions of dollars of our money. If you steal $50 at a gas station, you getting clank. You going to jail. But these bastards get to walk around free after stealing billions of our money. Ooh, girl, bye.
Fauci stole a ton with that whole jab thing.
President Trump is not responsible for Egggate. Egggate exists for a few reasons.
She's right on
primarily this. Democrat policies and egregious regulations by the Biden administration. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, late last year, actually the middle to late last year, we started seeing the prices of eggs rise last year. So this is not something that just magically popped up when Donald Trump came into office. And now I'm starting to think it was a kind of a conspiracy against rights coordinated effort by some of these loser Democrat politicians who know that they are losing their jobs and they are not going to win. They're going to be turfed out in 2026 because they don't know what the hell they're doing. And one of the things that happened last year here, I have it, and I remember when this happened, Biden administration ordered 200 million egg-laying hens destroyed because they, quote, might get the bird flu. Where you at, ASPCA? Where's all the...
They've also gone in and killed a lot of cattle up in Washington and areas like that. They killed hundreds and hundreds of, well, probably thousands of them, actually. They killed some of the cattle for this reason.
The liberals who are animal lovers, who have your who adopted who dog stickers on the back of your Toyota Prius. Where y'all at? Haven't heard one word from you about that. You heard me right. Joe Biden ordered the complete destruction of 200 million egg-laying hens because they might get the bird flu. It's simple law.
No, these chickens are going to lay eggs that we're going to give birth to more chickens. It's going to take us quite a while to catch back up. Really a lot.
Of supply and demand. It's economics 101. You take that many egg-laying hens out of the market, and the price is going to go up because the supply is low, the demand is high. Simple. So this was an article according to Dunning-Kruger Times. And this is not all. Legislation. Local legislation. I know here in Colorado, the state legislators put through the House the cage-free egg bill that was, the price is going to go up because approved and signed into law by Jared Polis last year, and it went into effect 1 January this year. So of course the price of eggs in Colorado went through the roof. Michigan did the same thing. There are other states who have similar cage-free egg laws. That is what is driving the price of eggs up. This started a long time ago. It did not start with Donald Trump. So please don't let the media and the politicians and the haters gaslight you.
Absolutely. And it's all intentional. It's like pre-planned.
Man, these Democrats crashing out, bro. Y'all crashing out. Y'all mad, bro? Y'all still mad about President Trump's joint congressional speech the other night? Y'all still mad? Y'all making videos. I'm seeing these videos of these white liberal females. I can't stand them. And Jasmine Crockett.
I'm seeing hundreds and hundreds of these Democrats saying, "Oh, we got to kill him. We got to kill him. Who's going to do it? Someone's got to go kill him." A couple things happened today, last night. A gunman got onto the White House grounds or something like that, and the Secret Service had to take him out. They had to shoot him. But they didn't kill him. They wounded him, and he's in the hospital. I haven't heard anything about it. You're hardly hearing that in the mainstream news, though. Hardly at all about it. Some gunman with a rifle tried to get in to the White House and shoot Trump last night. So, and now they've also had to get a lot of planes away from the White House area where they're not supposed to be flying. They're trying to fly closer and closer with these small planes. It's very nerve-wracking. So
and AOC, the caption in this video is called "Choose Your Fighter." Choose your fighter, and they and they punch the sky and Jasmine Crockett trying to rip Kendrick Lamar. Hashtag not like us. Nah, you ain't like us. You ain't nothing like us. We actually we're sane. Chuck Schumer making videos talking about I'm going to just dispel his lies from the speech. No, he didn't lie. He didn't lie. CNN figured that out.
You're right, John.
Because your ass will be sitting in court. CNN tried to say that President Trump was that he needed a fact check for saying that they spent through USAID under Biden over $100 million, I think it was. Maybe wrong, but it was up there. Millions of dollars to turn mice transgender. That was actually a line item in government spending through USAID. Found by Doge, Elon Musk, and that group. Thank you, guys. That was true. So y'all still crashing out over his speech. Y'all could have done this. All you had to do was show up and actually do your damn job. That's it. To show up and do your job. Instead of pretending that you're working toward doing the job. See, that's the problem with Democrats. That's why they need to keep the illusion alive that they are actually working for you when they know clearly, good and damn hell well, they're not. They're not working for you. They're not working at all. They know this. That is how they keep their jobs. Can you imagine AOC on some executive board in some private sector company? She would bottom out a company's bottom line within a week. No business acumen whatsoever. The only thing she ever did was a temp job, probably covering and filling in for one of her college roommates with a bartending gig. She went straight from that to Congress by way of Justice Democrats who recruited her. They put out a casting call. She answered the casting call, and voila, we've been stuck with that twat since 2018. See, you people don't work. You don't do your jobs. And the only way that you keep your jobs is by fooling and gaslighting people and making them think that you're working toward helping with Medicare. And you create the problems. It's the classic Hegelian dialectic, bro. You think we ain't hip to your game? We know what's going on now. You create the problem, you gauge the reaction, and you've already got a solution waiting. That is the Hegelian dialectic. We know this, man. And you still crashing out because President Trump showed up and is actually doing the job that he said he was going to do. He is keeping his promises, just like he did from 2017 to 2021. Promises made, promises kept. And you're pissed about that? We watched all the videos, hundreds of thousands of videos of TikTokers, people saying how terrible they were doing. They couldn't pay their rent. They couldn't eat. They couldn't put gas in their car. Their kids were barely eating, going to school. They couldn't buy anything, getting kicked out of their apartments. We saw all the videos, dude. And now y'all crashing out because Donald Trump is doing what? When did it? Okay. And now you want people to vote for you again in 2026. If you actually spent time doing your damn job, you might not have to cheat in elections. Because people will vote for you when they see that you're actually doing your job. Donald Trump won overwhelmingly because he is keeping his promises. The border crossings are down over 97%. Hell, he's only been in office for a month and a half. Y'all had 4 years to help the American citizens. You had 4 years, but see, you preferred illegal aliens. You put them above us. We saw you do it. We saw you sign and into law the Inflation Reduction Act. And one omnibus bill after another, and there were hundreds of billions of dollars that were slated for taking care of illegal aliens by way of NGOs, Data Republican and the Doge team, Big Balls, and everybody else. Salute. They found all of this nonsense that you people have been spending our tax money on. You have basically just been stealing our money. Just go ahead and say it and stop playing with me. You've been stealing. You've just been stealing our money. And now you want to try to throw shade on Donald Trump for actually doing his job. The job we hired him, elected him for. Go ahead, keep crashing out. You're going to get turfed out in 2026 because your performance the other night leading up to, during, and after President Trump's speech, people are going to remember how nasty and disgusting you were. Your lack of decorum and your lack of common sense. Go ahead, keep crashing out. Not going to win you elections. I'm all for that.
How about everyone else? Keeps logging me off out there. Thank heaven says StreamYard's keeping hooked up to it. Couple more.
We've been paying for Ukrainians to be on Social Security.
Oh, I think I did play this one.
You know, the Biden administration.
I played that one. Let me grab the other one.
Volodymyr Zelensky just got owned by President Trump in the Oval Office. They had a meeting about peace. He was supposed to have already signed a mineral rights deal with Marco Rubio as a precursor to this meeting, because the ultimate goal of President Trump is a couple of things here. He wants peace. He's not kidding around about this shit. What part of peace don't you get? I thought you dumb Democrat baby boomer assholes, the ones in Congress, I thought y'all came from the generation of make love, not war. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Is that not you people? With your tie-dyed shirts and your hippie flared out jeans and your disgusting patchouli smell? Is that you?
That's when they wanted the commies to take over South Vietnam. They're all for commies, that's for sure.
Now you don't want peace. Now you want unlimited war because your old ass is too frail and feeble to fight. So you're totally fine sending other people's children to go and fight your neocon and your wars based on either oil or weapons or minerals. Well, President Trump is bringing an end to this shit. What part of peace don't you get, bro? I mean, it's this Volodymyr Zelensky has, see, he's decadent now. You know, watch the video of him pulling up to the White House and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. He must have got a bump on the way in because he shot out of that car like a cannon and had the the whole nervous thing that people do. I've never done coke, so I don't know what that's like. But I can see it in Zelensky. And then he sits there in the Oval Office and tries to jump bad with President Trump. See, he got used to these Democrat politicians. And
it's acting a bit buggy for me too. This is the last video. He was invited onto the floor of Congress, where January 6th political prisoners were put in prison for taking selfies in the same Capitol that we pay for. But Zelensky was allowed to come in there and act like a fucking fool and pretend that he's some kind of noble soldier, when all I remember him being in is these comedy sketches and him doing the Shakira shaka 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 in some dance video, and another dance video with him parading around in low cut pants and high heels. That's the Zelensky that I see. That man is not a warrior. That's a little pussy. Sure is.
And you have the nerve to sit there and try to pretend that you have some kind of bargaining power. We remember you congressional representatives waving the Ukrainian flag and smiling and clapping and dancing because you knew you were getting ready to get paid. Zelensky knew he was getting ready to get paid. This was all under Biden and Harris, them two losers. We remember these things. That was not that long ago, bro. Do you not think we don't know what's been going on? You're acting like we are still in the dark about all of the money laundering, the Ukrainian Laundromat LLC, as I call it. You think we don't know shit? Dude, we know! Give it up! The jig is up! Did you see the ambassador to Ukraine with her head in her hands going, oh Lord, I'm gonna have to cancel my order for my Lamborghini Urus. Oh Lord, I'm gonna have to drive a damn Chevrolet. Oh, this stupid little freak is yelling at the president of the United States, the real one.
You should see all the parties they're throwing over there, dance parties and things. They're all doing a lot of drugs too and everything. And a lot of them are Nazis in Ukraine.
And now I'm not going to get my dang on car. Interesting. See, he's used to being coddled. He's used to showing up and getting billions of dollars from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And he wants security guarantees, is what he
10% for the big guy
calls them. He wants American troops. He wants our firepower. You've already got our weapons. I drive by the motor pool on base, whichever one. And I'm like, damn, where is all the damn vehicles in the motor pool? How come the motor pool almost empty? Because we done gave shit away to Afghanistan and Ukraine and every freaking where else. And now we got to restock. This dumb son of a bitch came here thinking, I can't even believe that he thought he was going to leave with some more money. You know, that's why his little ass is pissed off. It's because he ain't leaving with no money. He's leaving empty-handed. He wants to keep the war going.
So do the Democrats.
Houston made deals to rebuild Ukraine with BlackRock and some of these other dark money hedge funds. See, they've got billions of dollars set to rebuild Ukraine. And they want American money for guarantees. Bitch, please. President Trump said we've already given you over $300 billion. You ain't getting no more money, you little creep. And by the way, we want that money back in minerals. You understand how this is going to work? Because without the United States, you ain't getting nothing. And the president said, one of the things he said was, you need to be grateful. Y'all know how I am. I don't like ungrateful people. You need to get up every day. I don't care what's going on. And thank God that you have the breath of life breathed into you. Don't be ungrateful. He's an ungrateful little creep is what he is. He shows no gratitude. And J.D. Vance, you disrespecting my vice president, J.D. Vance? You disrespecting my president, you little fucking creep? Don't ever come back here again and sell that house in Miami. We don't want you here, you disgusting minion. Who do you think you are? You don't get to yell at President Trump. Get that little son of a bitch out of here on the first thing smoking. Damn you, American politicians, if you have anything negative that you're trying to say about Donald Trump. He's trying to bring peace so that the Ukrainians don't die anymore and the Russians don't die anymore. We are tired of blood on everybody's hands. It is peace or no deal. Fuck off. Happy Friday to everybody except the stupid shit libs, the Democrats, and Volodymyr Zelensky, you nasty little fucker.
I was finishing a comment there. Anyways, yeah, Deborah. Yeah, they don't want the media to know that if the comment doesn't come through, it's still thinking for about an hour. In any case, yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I'll probably do some more clips. I'm trying to get her on. It hasn't worked out yet, but I'll try to get her on as a guest. I'll try to get a good time. Probably going to have to go for any time she's able to do it, you know. I'll send her a message. She'll see it in about a week. Then she'll reply to me. I'll reply to her. Then I'll wait another week. Can't seem to lock her down a good time and stuff. By the time she replies, it's already past the time, you know, that we were going to do it, you know. So in any case, I am in some communication with her. Talk to you soon. If not, I'll collect a bunch of these again and do it again. I'll do a part 2. That's why I labeled this part 1. So because I was getting clips and playing them. But I thought it would be good to just put them all back to back. She's definitely on the ball on this. All right. Take care, everyone. God bless. See you tomorrow or the next day. One of those two. Bye-bye.